Good morning, everyone. This is David Plazas, Community Conversation Editor for the News Press, and we are here on June 1st with Michael Grant, who is a candidate for the Florida House. And if editorial board members, if you could quickly do an introduction of yourselves, introduce yourselves, and then we'll ask Mr. Grant to make a couple of comments.
Certainly. My name is Dennis Perlman. I'm a former citizen member of the editorial board.
I'm Dick Kalfas. I'm on the editorial board from Cape Coral.
Pam Grotehouse, citizen member from Bonita Springs.
Roy Hyman, former editorial board member from Bonita Springs.
Bob Rathkeller, senior political reporter for the News Press.
Tell us a little about why you decided to run. You have experience in the past in the legislature. What motivated you to run again this time?
I very much enjoyed my experience in the House. As you know, I ran for the Senate and lost in the primary. I had thought when I first got into state politics that I wanted to do 12 years. I felt that would take me into my early 70s or whatever, and at that point in time I'd probably be done with it. And I think at that point in time it gives you, somebody else needs to come in and bring some fresh ideas and some fresh blood to the position. Because I only served 4 years, and I enjoyed those 4 years. It was a tremendous learning experience. I think that I was able to do some good things for not only my district but for Southwest Florida. I just wanted to get back into it again, both because I enjoyed it so much and because I thought I was able to do some good things.
And with regard to the issues, one of the questions that we had from one of our citizen members who couldn't make it here because her husband had a back issue, Mercedes Price Harry, asked about your philosophy on the economy. She's especially interested in terms of economic issues, jobs issues. Tell us a little about your thoughts, who you side with per se, and where you'd like to see the state go.
Well, let me give you just some really brief background. As you know, I moved to Southwest Florida in 1988, and my wife and I bought a small wheelchair business in Charlotte County. We've expanded that business over the past 24 years. Seems hard to believe. That now we have 125, 130 employees. We've got offices, 2 in Sarasota County, 1 in Charlotte, 1 here in Lee County, and just recently we've opened up another office in Collier County, providing medical transportation services to basically the hospitals and nursing homes in the area of the citizens. We've been able to create a lot of jobs that weren't there otherwise, and provide services. So I think I know a little bit about the kind of environment you need to have a business grow and be successful. I've also, as you probably know, served 4 years in the legislature sitting on the Economic Development Committee. But prior to that, I was always involved in economic development, was on the Airport Authority, which was the driver of economic development in Charlotte County. Was very active before I got into the legislature, working with the Southwest Regional Transportation Authority, SWIFTY, trying to have a positive impact on economic development in Southwest Florida. I view myself as being a regional person because of my business and because of my background, not just somebody who's tied to a artificial political boundary, be it a county or be it a state house district. Really the issues that affect Southwest Florida economically are regional issues, and it's not just located in one particular boundary. I don't know if that did answer your question.
Yes.
Okay.
Could we find out what district you're running for?
Sure, 76.
And what is that?
76 is
geographically?
The west coast of Lee County, from Boca Grande, the border of Charlotte and Boca Grande, Lee County, I should say, in Boca Grande, south through Captiva, Sanibel, Pine Island, Fort Myers Beach, Estero and Bonita to the Lee-Collier border.
Okay, so who is in that district now?
Trudy Williams, I believe, has probably the majority of it. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, because I'm trying to understand.
it's the reconfigured 76 is the one of the weirdest house districts there is.
They seem to move it closer to the west, as there was.
Well, what they did was there were 2 or 3 issues when they redistricted. One, Bonita wanted to be. They emphasized they wanted to be all together in one district. So Estero, they felt, had more to do with Bonita than anything else. So to keep them together. They wanted to keep Cape Coral intact as a district of its own because of the community aspect of it. And so that left the islands, Estero and Bonita,
Yeah.
and one strange looking district. I mean, if you, literally, it would take you probably
You
an hour
can't get
and a-
there from here.
It would take an hour and a half to drive from the far
Yeah.
end of the district to the southern,
That's
southeastern
a-
end of the
Oh,
district.
you're talking more than.
Not in season.
You're talking
Yeah.
2 hours to get out of Boca
And
Grande.
who's announced for that position? that
Well, if you went to
position
both,
now?
sure, if you
Yeah.
included both.
It's Ray Rodriguez is the other candidate.
Ray
in this
Ray
race.
Rodriguez
Yep.
is.
Okay.
And there's another gentleman that filed, I don't know how serious he is.
I don't believe he's running. Daltrus or Dottress?
Chauncey
Victor.
Stollinger or something?
Oh, that,
Solinger.
okay, yeah, I don't.
Yes, yes.
He's never shown up. The Victor Dottress had
Right.
filed at one time, but he's
No.
dropped out.
Now, another thing that's different about this district is that this takes you from Charlotte County all the way firmly into Lee County and even close to Collier County. What motivated your decision to move down to this area?
I had planned, and I talked to Representative Kriegel, a year ago about running for his seat because he was turned out and it was going to be an open seat. When redistricting came about, I figured that Charlotte would continue to have, two seats as they always had. That's not the way it turned out. And so as they were going through the process, I sort of changed my tune and said, listen, I know there's going to be an open seat in Southwest Florida somewhere. I want to get back in the legislature and I'm going to be running for that open seat. And fortunately, my wife said, hey, if we've got to move to Bonita and Estero and all that shopping and those restaurants, that's not such a bad deal. I'm in. So basically, we announced for the open seat.
And with the environment issue, you listed as your second priority. Certainly, Trudy Williams has been called by some state members, for example, a water wizard, very much focused on
so.
issues of North Everglades, the Everglades restoration. What would you like to see? How would you like to have an impact with regard to those issues? Because you mentioned that you want to do anything you can to avoid negative impacts on the environment in the questionnaire.
Yeah, probably what I'll do is listen a lot to Trudy because we came in together in '04 and she knows a lot more about those issues than I do. And what I've learned is being in the legislature, you can't be an expert on everything. I probably know more about economic development than she does, but she certainly knows more about water than I do. The best thing, quite frankly, one of the reasons I like being in the legislature is that a legislator is that you get to talk to a bunch of different people and learn things every day and make opinions. When you've got somebody who's experienced like Trudy, who knows those issues backwards and forwards, she's somebody that I'll be depending on to help get me through those issues. But let me speak about a little bit. I talked about regionalism. One of my good friends, because I was on the Regional Planning Council, is Carson Turner, who's a county commissioner up in Henry County. And they look at at Lake Okeechobee and those issues probably differently than people do in Bonita or Boca Grande. I think one of the roles that I have to play as a legislator is to try to bring those folks together and say, listen, we live in this region. We need Henry County and the things that they bring, the food and the ag stuff, as much as Henry County needs the tourists because they feed off each other. And you can't have a successful regional economy without those two parts of the region talking to each other and making sure that they're making common ground on environmental issues and in particular on water issues. As I said before, I'm a firm believer in, we had the regional legislative delegation with Mike Davis, who was my roommate up in Tallahassee, and we worked real strongly to try to bring the region together and the leaders of the region together, the elected officials together, the business leaders together, to make sure that we were all on the same page in Tallahassee. One of the things that I found is that if your regional delegation isn't strong, if your county delegation isn't strong, you get rolled over by the people in Miami, Orlando, Jacksonville, who have these huge delegations, 6, 7, 8 people. And lobbyists, you're right, and then your region, your district ends up, they just pick you off and you get the shot into the stick. Coming into this next legislative session, whether I'm elected or not, you're going to have 3 freshmen from Lee County, and Matt Caldwell's in there for 2 years. Been through that before when Representative Kriegel and I got elected from Charlotte County. It was the same deal, but what's different is that probably not in the first couple of years, but certainly thereafter, if everybody sticks together